Hey YouTubers, it's Charlie. So Walking Dead is back. Shit went crazy in the first episode. It was like an hour and a half, like most premieres and most finales. So I feel like there's a whole bunch to talk about. So I'm gonna do top 10 moments. Just careful for spoilers if you haven't seen the episode yet. New round of the giveaway also starts now too. It's a $20 Amazon gift card, just like normal. All you have to do to enter is be a subscriber and leave a comment on the video. So everybody grab the bull by the nutsack. Let's do this. Number 10, meet the super horde inside the quarry. Some people call it the super pack. You could call it the super horde or just the horde. The way they explain it in the episode is that originally there was a camp down there that died. It slowly attracted more walkers. The noise attracted even more, and it just grew and grew like this dying star until you have a sea, like an ocean full of walkers. So really the safe zone people and Rick's group didn't have anything to do with trapping them down there. But like Rick says, we need to get them before they get us. Just kind of teeing up a nice metaphor for their encounters with potential future groups this season, especially the wolves. On to number 9, Rick versus Ron. So this is Pete's son. He is in total teenage dick mode, and the way that Jesse explains it later is it just like he can't hear anything from you. Like his brain will just shut it down. It doesn't matter how much sense you're making. This is actually a really good PSA for anyone that works with children or is a teacher or has ever had to deal with the angry parent of a child. It doesn't matter if you're in the right or not. If you get into an encounter with a child and they somehow feel hurt, you will always automatically be wrong, no matter how much sense you're making. So if you ever find yourself tackling a kid to keep him from falling into a ravine full of walkers, just say, "I hope you're okay," and slowly back away. On to number 8 though, everybody flips their shit in the first 10 minutes of the episode. So this footage that we're actually watching, this opening scene, is right out of the trailer with Carter, Ethan Embry's character, yelling, "We're not ready, we're not ready." Everybody just flipping out. This was probably my favorite opening to a first episode of any season. Like when you look at all the premiere episodes and you look at the first scene from each of those episodes, this is definitely the best. And it definitely looks like they didn't leave any money in the bank when they set it up. I mean, most of these walkers are probably duplicated in CG. Like they probably have like a bunch of people in practical effects, but they'll probably also have a bunch of them that are just duplicated. They just copy and paste with really expensive special effects software. Crowd duplication is like a really big thing when you have giant crowd scenes and you have like figures that are really, really tiny. You don't need to get close-up shots of. On to number 7, everybody hates Father Gabriel. So there was this really funny moment. The Walking Dead did this fan premiere on Friday night, just like a couple days ago. The whole cast went out to Madison Square Garden. They did this big premiere. They aired the first episode a couple days early for a bunch of fans. Seth Gilliam, the actor that plays Father Gabriel, walks out on stage. Everybody just boos the shit out of him. I mean, obviously they're booing for his character. Everyone loves Seth Gilliam. He's a great actor. Father Gabriel, his character, however, sucks something fierce. It's like the Game of Thrones Joffrey effect. If an actor is supposed to make you hate his character, and you hate the character, he has completely 100% succeeded in his job. So Deanna shuts him down, Rick shuts him down really fast during the big group meeting when they're trying to find people to help. Speaking of help though, on to number 6, Abraham and Sasha, just two of a kind, both going a little bit crazy. Although Abraham is kind of headed in the downward spiral, Sasha's getting a little bit better. She's actually a little bit less crazy than she was last season. Remember when she used to lie on top of those walker piles? Yeah, that's crazy Sasha. Like nestling up to the barrel of a gun 24/7. This version of her just seems a little more present mentally, like she's more present in the moment. Abraham, however, seems like he's headed in the opposite direction. Let me ask you something. You doing this because you want to die? Don't you kind of feel like the way he says it, he's trying to get her to validate the way that he feels, like he kind of wants to die, just a little bit? Grabbing the bull by the nutsack. Abraham totally does not disappoint too. Like you kind of see him like going a little bit crazy when he's trying to bury the bodies too. Like just drinking that whiskey, looking at the ring. I think he's just remembering his family. The camera lingered on that wedding band for so long, there's no way it was a coincidence. Moving along with characters getting more and less crazy at the same time. Number 5, Eugene's smile. Thank God nothing happened to your hair. Eugene and Tara is like the best friendship on the show right now, next to Carol and Daryl. We really didn't get like a Carol-Daryl moment, but we had that amazing Eugene moment. Just the smile on his face. That is the best smile I've ever seen on The Walking Dead. Mostly because it's so unnatural. But in nice contrast to that, number 4, you have Nick and Glenn, who apparently are best buds now. They had a really nice arc in the episode. Like between the flashbacks and the present day scenes, things get slowly better between them. Like the last flashback we had with them, Glenn is like, "I'll tell you when, and then we'll make it right." So awesome seeing Nick selflessly save Heath, who's one of the new comic book characters, then Glenn immediately saved Nick. This will kind of tie in with that final scene with Rick and Morgan where he's like, some people are going to die no matter what. It seems like Nick is not one of those people. Like, he realized what was up as opposed to Carter, who kind of never really truly figured things out. On the number 3 though, Morgan slowly feels the group out, especially in the flashbacks. Even though it was really satisfying seeing him, quote unquote, get to know Rick again, it was just fun seeing him meet the other members of the group, like Carol, for instance. Did you used to be a police officer too? Why would you say that? Just because you have that look about you. You look like you're always ready. Melissa McBride is so awesome as Carol now, just like the subtle way she has about her, where it's like this really creepy housewife that could just stab you in the face at the drop of a hat. Don't you just get the feeling now that she's crossing into Daryl Dixon territory where it almost feels like the fandom would just absolutely quit the show if they were to die? Like, she's that popular now. It doesn't necessarily make her immune, but I definitely think the writers are going to keep her around as long as possible. She's one of the most interesting characters in the show. Why wouldn't you keep her around? Carol really didn't have a whole lot to do in this episode, but I felt like that was her big scene. On to number 2 though, Rick's gambit to take the super horde away from the safe zone. As he explains it on this map here, like there's a giant fork in the road, they're trying to take them down the fork that goes away from the safe zone. The other one goes right towards it, so they had to create this big barrier here, and they have to keep them from turning around, from getting distracted. Ethan gets bit in that big moment, and the way they bounce back and forth between that Morgan scene with Judith was just so perfect. Some people are gonna die no matter what. Bam, face bit, down you go. Rick snaps his neck. You need to be quiet now. Such a perfect job editing. Even if you didn't like the black and white, the way they edited that scene was just perfect. And for the most part, it kind of works. It's very suspenseful the way they cut it. They make it seem like at any moment the walkers might break down the barrier and go towards the safe zone. But Daryl, Sasha, and Abraham leading them away when all of a sudden, number 1 WTF moment, a giant horn sounds leading them back towards the safe zone. And like the whole line turns sideways, so it's like they're not single file anymore. Now they're super spread out, so it'll be almost impossible to take them down in an easy way. Right off the bat, let's talk about who we think this is. It's probably the Wolves in one of their 18-wheelers. That sounds like an 18-wheeler horn, like a really big car horn. Not a little sedan, just a giant freaking 18-wheeler horn. Second big thing now, in addition to like whatever threat now is creating this noise, you have a super horde that's super spread out lengthwise. It's a lot easier to deal with walkers when they're single file, like you can just take them down 3 or 4 at a time. But when they're spread out like that, it's a lot harder to manage. So the teaser for the next episode is just setting up that a bunch of walkers might make it inside the safe zone. It's going to be too much for them to defend the entire wall. So if you want to read along in the comics, I'd recommend reading No Way Out, like the collected edition. Here's the debate we need to have in the comments though. Who is blowing that giant car horn? Is it the Wolves, or is it someone from the safe zone? Like I said, I feel like it makes the most sense that it be the Wolves. I don't think it's Ron or some other random safe zone person. But here's what's going on. So New York Comic Con just ended today. There's still a couple trailer videos that I need to get through. I'm going to try and do a Q&A for this tomorrow for the Walking Dead episode. I need to get back on track with that. I didn't do Q&As for Fear the Walking Dead. So hopefully all that stuff will get done on Monday. If I need to, I'll just push my Gotham video to Tuesday morning before The Flash. So just be sure to follow me on Twitter and Facebook for updates on that. Usually I'm really good about posting where I'm at with videos at any given time. But overall, the episode was great. I love the way they edited it. I always like it when they try new editing techniques. As long as they don't do this black and white flashback every single episode, I think it'll be fine. I will go ahead and say, I think that this episode is better than the Season 5 premiere, but you guys can let me know, like, which of the premieres is your favorite, going all the way back to Season 1. Personally, Season 5 was my favorite before this, but now this is my new favorite. Especially because they killed Ethan Embry. I'm so happy that he's not going to be around this season. Just the look on his face, he was such a Debbie Downer. Just in case you guys haven't seen it, I posted a couple New York Comic Con videos. You can click here for the Legends of Tomorrow Comic Con panel, and you can click here for the viral teaser from Batman v Superman. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. Let's high five. I'll see you guys tomorrow.